Also,
no. More about gel coat.
When the fourth...
Don't you call in the... More importantly...
Love. Exciting and new.
Well, Happy New Year, Matthew.
Well, I thought it was going to be until I watched this episode of The Love Boat.
No.
And I thought, well, that's what I get for not getting David a Christmas present. Here, watch this turd. Ugh.
Well,
your goal is for these shows for me to hate everything. That
well,
my God, this was...
apparently we're not doing the light and frothy pleasantries leading up to introducing the show.
I'm sorry.
It's just amazing. Well, let's get right to it. Hi, Tutti Fruities. This is TV Talkaholics number 14. It is January of 2021, and I wish you a happy new year. Apparently, Matthew does not share that sentiment.
If this is what being a talkaholic has to be, I'm about to get sober.
It was, I mean, I have to admit, we had looked at this for a couple of months ago and then got sidetracked or whatever. I forget why it changed, but when we watched it the first time, I was like, ooh, this is rough. But I had already put in the time for it. I'd already kind of done a little bit of legwork, and
it's fine. It's just so many questions from watching this.
Yeah.
Not just this episode. It's not Nancy McKeon's fault. It's nobody's fault, but Aaron's spelling.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, for those that don't know, I am David Almeida. I'm the guy you send money to every month to be able to listen to this. And my co-host is the inimitable Matthew Arder.
And I am the minion that has to watch this crap for free.
I have offered to share the Patreon money with you, and you will not take a penny.
I want your money, David.
No.
I'm trying to prove to you in the long run that I'm not after you for your money.
Okay. You're trying to put forth that narrative.
So when we get to season 9 and it finally happens, people will be like, oh, good. He wasn't for his money.
when the will they or won't they becomes the will they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or why did they?
What? Oh, brother.
It always ends up as a why did they?
It's so true. It is so true. So, yes, we decided to do this Love Boat episode because we had been kind of on the hunt for other shows in which the Facts of Life cast members had appeared. And we stumbled upon this. It was you that found this, actually. I blame you.
How dare you, sir?
I'm fairly sure that you were the one that originally brought this to my attention.
Well, by looking at Nancy McKeon's IMDb, if that is the case, if looking at someone's IMDb is a cause for guilty plea, then I guess throw the book at me. But come on, this is... And,
the entire hour is going to be us just whose fault it's your fault we had to watch. No, it's your fault. And it's not that bad. It really isn't. It's just on.
It is 100% Love Boat material. It is 100% Love Boat material. And I get that the Love Boat somehow miraculously ran for 8 years?
Try 10.
Cheese and crackers.
10. Holy fuck balls. I was shocked too.
Now, I get it. And it is cotton candy. I get it. It's pot for your brain, I guess. I don't know what to call it. But there's such a thing as too much cotton candy to where it's just this is making me throw up.
Yeah.
I just the stupidity that we watched, the terrible acting, the terrible writing. And I know it's a Love Boat, so get off my back. I get it. I get that, but Jesus Christ, Lamont.
Yeah, no, it's got a lot of rough stuff in this episode. And thankfully, disagree with me if you will. I think the Nancy McKeon storyline was the strongest of the three.
Well, yeah, but that's like saying, well, like for me, that's like being the skinniest person at Weight Watchers. I mean, you're still at Weight Watchers. Matthew, push away from the buffet and you won't have to be there anymore. Anyway.
Oh my God.
And don't get me wrong, I love a good love boat. I love a good love boat.
It's that's it. We are if you haven't already caught on that we are going to be shitting a lot of shit on this episode because of a lot of not good things about it, but I'm with you. I'm right there saying, and I don't have memories that I hated this show. I remember thinking this show was kind of fun when I was 10.
And it is. It's not fun.
No.
But when you're watching it with a critical eye and you're not just, stoned out of your mind on your couch and, Lamont from Sanford and Son shows up with Jimmy Walker and you're like, hey, I like them.
I know. I recognize them. They exist. It's
wonderful. Thelma Hopkins. Thelma Hopkins was in it, and she's
magnificent.
Always lovely.
Yeah.
Well,
before we start talking about the nuts and bolts of the inner episode, Matthew, I did my research and I want to talk about the show and the circumstances and all that. And I promise I'll try to clock it in under 14 hours. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is Love Boat season 3, episode 12. So we're only in the 3rd season of a 10-season run that spanned 250 episodes, which is, it was a Saturday night staple. I think didn't it premiere in the 9 o'clock Saturday night slot, and it just never moved. It was a slam dunk in the ratings.
Well, when you tell me it had 200 episodes, what that means to me is that it had 600 storylines.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Every episode, and I found this out watching this episode at the beginning, they show you the 3 different storyline names.
Yep.
And are written by 3 different people.
Mm-hmm. So I didn't remember that either.
One storyline has nothing to do with, there's no through line other than they are all on one boat.
Yeah.
That is the boat is the through line. I didn't realize that there was zero, like Nancy McKeon never encounters Lamont ever.
No, they do not cross the streams. That would be very, very bad. The only thing is you can tell that they do have the structure of, well, at some point, at page 10 of this script that we're writing, we need to be at dinner. And then the next scene can be the next morning at the pool. And then, of course, they come into port. So there's a point where they can get off the ship so people can go away if they need to go away. So, they have this sort of loose structure. But I'm with you. When I saw 3 different titles with 3 different sets of writers, I was like, oh, clearly as a kid, I wouldn't have been watching for that. But yeah, 3 completely 100% isolated stories.
So it makes me wonder then if, like, you, David Almeida, are a writer for The Love Boat. If you
dream
sit down
job,
in a room,
continue.
You said, oh my God, wouldn't that be fucking amazing?
No.
Not now so much because of the celebrities that you would have to write for, but like you'd be writing for like Real Housewives and shit like that.
No, I'm talking about if someone came back with a time machine and said, we can take you back to 1977 and you 2 can be in the writer's room for The Love Boat and start writing scripts for fucking Ann Miller and, Jerry Stiller and all the legends. And
so my question is, if you're a writer for The Love Boat, do you sit in your office and write like 15 storylines and turn them in? And then like a director every week goes, oh, let's do this storyline from this shelf and this storyline from this shelf. Or do you 3 people as writers sit in a room together every week? You know what I mean? Like a regular writer's room.
Yeah.
because your storylines aren't going to intertwine at all.
Yeah. And
So
yeah, one of those like, okay, and as the producer of the show or the showrunner, yeah, do you have we've got Jerry Stiller and Ann Mira this week. We need to find, there's a husband and wife,
yeah,
thing, but based on the guests, this story would probably match up well for this person. Yeah, you wonder, or do the writers say, okay, here are the guests.
yeah.
And, Matthew, you're handling the DeMond Wilson, Thelma Hopkins, Jimmy Walker story. David, it's up to you to write Nancy McKeon and the other dudes. That's a good question. You wonder, because that is a lot of fucking, for an hour-long show, a third of an hour it's 3 mini TV shows.
Yeah.
All rolled into one. And maybe that's what the appeal was, that if you don't like this, something else is going to be around the corner in a couple minutes every week.
It's like being on a buffet line on a cruise ship. You don't like this? There'll be something coming up. There'll be mac and cheese down the road a little bit.
But one of the things I had, without looking at it with an analytical, critical eye until just now, watching this earlier, is that every episode typically had some type of a comedic story, and then a romantic comedy story, and then a drama. So if you think of it, the comedy story in this episode is the one involving Julie's birthday, and the romantic comedy, more of the screwball comedy, is the DeMond Wilson, Jimmy Walker, Thelma Hopkins story, and the drama would be the Nancy McKeon, and God bless them, that's what you do with Nancy McKeon. But let's not get to the stories, because we want to talk about the Love Boat. I can't do that.
Episodes.
Say 250 episodes. Yeah.
Oh God!
I know.
Inflicted on the world.
I know. Well, this was, as you said earlier, an Aaron Spelling production. Now, a lot of people might think, yeah, Aaron Spelling was a titan of television in the 70s and 80s and beyond. Well, I was looking back, I'm like, where did he start out? Turns out Aaron Spelling in the 60s was an actor and a writer. He didn't act in much. But starting in 1965, he began producing shows like The Mod Squad and The Rookies, which were cop shows. And then in the 70s, we get into Family, Charlie's Angels, The Love Boat, followed by Fantasy Island. In the 80s, we get Dynasty, Beverly Hills 90210, which spills over into Melrose Place, and then Seventh Heaven and Charmed. I mean, there are millennials who grew up watching Charmed, and it's like, that's an Aaron Spelling show.
Mm-hmm.
That's freaking crazy to me that I had forgotten that his run was so vast. So, Matthew, picture it. November 17th, 1979.
Oof.
I know this was long, long before you were born, but Thanksgiving is less than a week away. So what would you want to watch on a Saturday night?
Well, I'm sure Charlie Brown Thanksgiving is on, isn't it, at some point?
No. The only thing I can attribute to the weird schedule this particular night is I'm like, because Thanksgiving's coming. Are kids out of school yet? Are they just running shit? Not that there's that many Thanksgiving specials, but CBS at 8 o'clock is running Puff the Magic Dragon and the Land of the Living Lies.
Like Puff the Magic Dragon with the Burgess Meredith version?
I think so.
Oh, I do kind of like that version.
Yeah, and this is the sequel to the 1978 original Puff the Magic Dragon, and there is a third one that comes out in 1982. So this is the second of a trilogy, apparently. That's just weird because Puff the Magic Dragon isn't a Thanksgiving story.
No, it's a stoner story.
Exactly. And then at 8:30 after this, we have A Connecticut Rabbit in King Arthur's Court. I shit you not. You know what it is? It's a Chuck Jones produced Bugs Bunny special that they would do in the 70s.
Oh,
where they did the Mark Twain Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, but it's a Connecticut Rabbit because it's Bugs Bunny.
Okay, I remember. I when you said it, I was like, "Why does that sound familiar?" But yeah, it's a Bugs Bunny thing.
Yeah. Now, opposite Love Boat, because Love Boat's on at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
9 o'clock on CBS, Matthew, is the world premiere of the TV movie Salem's Lot.
Oh, there was a TV version of the movie?
Mm-hmm. Originally, the original adaptation of the Stephen King novel, which came out in the mid-70s, was this 1979 TV movie adaptation. And it was done in 2 parts on 2 Saturday nights. Because, you know, when you think of Thanksgiving, Matthew, what do you want to bookend Thanksgiving with in your Saturday night movie schedule? A TV movie miniseries event about a dude who returns to his hometown in Maine to discover that all of the inhabitants are becoming vampires.
That's one of the movies that completely turned me off of horror films and made me scared of dead people. And it has stayed with me, Salem's Lot.
Oh, really? This one in particular?
But I remember my parents watching Salem's Lot and it traumatized me.
Oh.
Like to this day, I don't like cemeteries. I don't like dead people. I don't like funeral. I don't go to funerals. You know that.
Yeah.
But it's Salem's Lot. Anyway, go ahead. So I won't be watching that. I will be watching Love Boat.
Well, thank God we're watching The Love Boat right now, because that's going to be a must miss for Matthew. But here is the deal. This is a weird CBS schedule because of this Puff the Magic Dragon and this Bugs Bunny special. Typically, it looks like they rotated some miniseries in the 8 o'clock slot, but scheduled, sort of the hard scheduled thing, was the Bad News Bears TV show. And occasionally one day at a time would be moved to Saturday. And this is where all versions of the Stockard Channing show attempted to take root and did not succeed.
God bless her.
We've discussed that before about what a fucked up long story short, too late. It was a sitcom and it wasn't working. So they took it, changed the name of it from Stockard Channing in Just Friends to The Stockard Channing Show. Changed some of the names, changed the apartment, changed some of the relationships, but kept the entire original cast.
Yeah. So suddenly her neighbor or whatever, but it was a different name, and it was just weird.
It just seems like on CBS, the 8 to 9 o'clock slot was really just a filler dumping ground in preparation for the CBS Saturday night movie, which was on at 9. And that was their way to, I'm sure, pull in the ratings because, you know, you're home Saturday night, let's watch a movie. There's 3 whole channels to choose from, you know. But let's click over, Matthew, to NBC and see what they have to offer. At 8 o'clock p.m., The Wonderful Chips. At 9 o'clock, BJ and the Bear.
Well, now that was actually the name of the first film I ever did that went direct to DVD. It was a parody, sort of.
Were you the BJ or the Bear? Which role did you play?
Yes.
Was there a fursuit involved?
Well, it was hirsute, shall we say. It wasn't like there was no zipper. I mean, well, there was a zipper, but it wasn't on the suit. And it was anyway, BJ and the Bear. Yes, the TV
moving on. And then at 10 o'clock was this weird and I should say, and at one point BJ and the Bear did get moved back to the 8 o'clock slot so that the 9 o'clock hour could be cleared to make room for Sanford, the Sanford and Son reboot without the sun. Speaking of DeMond Wilson.
Because Lamont was busy doing Emmy Award-winning work on shows like The Love Boat.
And this being November of 1979, Matthew, there was a brand new show on NBC that premiered on Saturday nights. Do you remember what that show's name is?
No.
It's called The Facts of Life. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I thought it was on a Wednesday.
No, started on either Friday or Saturday. It might have been both because they said it free. Different Strokes was Wednesday, but then they put Hello Larry, thinking that was going to be the big ratings thing, and then it flopped. But it wasn't until season 2 when they brought it back to pair it up and clump it with Different Strokes that it started to build its audience. Yeah, season 1, they were either Fridays or Saturdays.
Huh.
And then later it would move permanently to Saturdays and find great success there. But yeah, And then at 10 p.m. was a show called A Man Called Sloan. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It starred Robert Conrad. It ran for half a season, and it was an amalgam. I'm going by, I think this is from Wikipedia or IMDb, one of the two. It's an amalgam of elements from numerous spy series of the previous 15 years, including The Man from U.N.C.L.E., Mission Impossible, and Robert Conrad's own The Wild Wild West. It was one of the most expensive series produced that season, and it failed to gain an audience, was canceled after 12 episodes. So that's why we never heard of it. So now we're getting on to ABC, Matthew, the third and final choice. At 8 o'clock p.m., The Ropers.
Oh, God. I do not look fondly at the 70s. It was people, I mean, other than, I do, but not, God, entertainment was just awful.
Well, this is 79, where we're, the 70s are winding down, both chronologically and I think artistically, because so many of the great shows were 69 and 70, like the Mary Tyler Moore shows and the All in the Families and Carol Burnett and that type of stuff. So, yeah, this was a transitional time.
The Ropers. Ugh.
Yeah. And I mean, if there's ever a better example of that than The Facts of Life, I don't know what is. But I look fondly on The Ropers because Jeffrey Tambor is just brilliant. He is so goddamn funny and wacky and, commits so hard to the bizarre scripts that they present him with. I'm just like, he has all the props from me. I guess he's turned out to be a monster now. I guess.
Yeah.
I guess that's like, I'm not supposed to like him personally now. Is that a thing? I never fully got that story, but.
Well, it's funny how people pick and choose, isn't it? Who they can separate the art from the artist from and who they can't.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated. I know Ted Danson has a new show coming out called Mr. Mayor. And I'm fascinated that he has been completely absolved of doing blackface. While other people have had it ruin their career, not Ted Danson.
Well, didn't he do it at the behest of his girlfriend at the time, which was Whoopi Goldberg?
I didn't know that there was a clause in why or when you did it. I just thought that everybody was like, oh my God, you put on blackface when you were in middle school. You're a terrible person.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree. You shouldn't do it, but I just don't know why Ted. Anyway.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. But I feel like that one, number one, it was a while ago. And
he gets the pass? Okay.
Well, no, you don't get a pass, but the same way The Facts of Life can use the word retarded in an episode, it was in a time where to do so didn't mean what it would mean if you did or said it now. Like if Ted Danson did blackface now, he went on Instagram and did blackface now, I think that is a much greater infraction because it's like, dude, you could say back then you didn't know any better, though, yeah, you could have, should have known better even still.
You were dating an African-American.
Yeah. But I swear to God, she was involved somehow. I really do. But anywho.
Anyway.
So then at 8:30 on ABC after The Ropers. Ropers was the spinoff of Three's Company by the By. That was where the landlords left. And with losing The Ropers, that gave us Mr. Furley. That got Don Knotts back onto network television. And I didn't have a problem with The Ropers. I was never mad at them. But I really think I prefer the Mr. Furley years.
Well, The Ropers, it was just at The Ropers, it was like their shtick was funny when it was for 3 minutes at a time and him being horrible to her. But when it was a whole episode of him just being horrible to her, you're like, leave him. Why are you with this asshole?
Yeah. Since when do you have a red-blooded American husband that doesn't want to fuck? Yeah. And she wasn't hideous. Audra Lindley, for a woman her age, they were trying to make out like she was fucking.
Turns out she was 27 when they were filming. Did you know that?
Did you know she was younger than Suzanne Summers? A lot of people don't know. I saw that. I clicked on something on the internet that told me that, so I know it's true.
It said, you will not believe Mrs. Roper, and I did not believe it.
But yeah. And honestly, I remember even as a kid, I didn't like the way he would laugh to the audience. Like his digging at her And then he would turn and like in an aside be like, I'm laughing because I'm proud of myself for
Norman
insulting.
Fels.
Say what?
Norman Fels he's a vaudeville actor. Anyway.
Yeah. But it was weird that was something he was clearly encouraged and directed to do. It was always an aside laugh to the audience, almost breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid even thinking, all right, that's weird. That doesn't seem to be of the same theatrical idiom as the rest of the show and the sitcom genre completely.
And this is why you ate alone at lunch, isn't it, David? Nobody wants to sit and talk about Norman Fell's acting choices on the Ropers, kids? Guys, come on.
No, I don't want to play kickball. I want to talk about Laverne and Shirley.
Can you believe they moved the whole show to LA? You guys.
I know.
You guys.
Really. It was supposed to be about working class people, and now they put them in the beautiful burg of Hollywood trying to be actresses. We've completely abandoned the situational premise and the precipitating circumstance of this series. Nobody? No?
Oh, well. Maybe at lunch. No.
Does anybody want my peanut butter jelly sandwich? And then...
Are we on the boat yet?
What?
We on the boat yet?
Nope. Okay. We're hours away from starting.
Got it.
So after the Ropers was this weird show called Detective School.
Mm.
It was a short-lived half series, only was 13 episodes, and it was an assortment of students who went to night school to learn basic detective skills, but who kept being caught up in real criminal cases and getting themselves and their teacher, also an inept private investigator, into trouble. Whoa. Green light that shit. Wow.
Good.
Yeah. Only lasted half a season. Go figure. And then at 9:00, this episode of The Love Boat.
Mm.
And at 10 p.m. followed by Fantasy Island. I did not look up which episode of Fantasy Island because, one does have to have limits to one's crazy, really.
Yeah. There has to be a line that you refuse to cross.
And I meant to, and I forgot to. So, how about we run down the cast? For those of you who may not have watched the episode, it is available on YouTube, and I did post the link on the Patreon, so you should have had the ability to watch it. If you have done your homework and want to get a passing grade in this class, you need to do that homework. But the cast of The Wonderful Love Boat, originally put together as a vehicle for Gavin MacLeod. They said that nutty, wisecracking side character, that hilariously funny guy on the Mary Tyler Moore Show, let's make him an authority figure and give him nothing to do, just like we're going to do with Mrs. Garrett on The Facts of Life.
That charisma. He's one of those people that I just like, who saw him and was like, oh, the charisma of fucking Gavin MacLeod is just...
You liked him on Mary Tyler Moore, I hope.
But again, when he would come in, and then he was gone. And you're like, oh, I love that Maury. I just, okay.
You said Maury. It was actually Murray, but I was thinking also Maury Amsterdam on the Dick Van. Imagine if they had said, you know what? We're going to give Maury Amsterdam and Rosemarie their own spin-off show.
Writing for the newsroom. They've gone from written. They don't write comedy anymore. Now they write news.
Yeah. How many times there were rumors of a Jack and Karen show, a spinoff from Will and Grace? And all I could think is that is the worst idea ever. Do you not understand why that's a horrible idea?
You hand the two characters that single-handedly killed sitcoms?
Oh,
their own show? Yeah, that is a terrible idea.
Wow. I'm not sure I'd go that far, but just the idea of funny side characters, you don't always want to put them in the middle. Just saying. So, that's okay. So that's us shitting on Gavin MacLeod. Let us now shit on Bernie Capel. And Bernie Capel is...
The sex symbol? They made him the sex symbol? Gopher is clearly cuter. Gopher is clearly cuter than the Doc.
Well, yeah, Bernie Capel plays the ship's doctor. His name is Adam Bricker is the character, but everyone calls him Doc. And yeah, he's the one that's always chasing the skirts and getting tail and having a date with this lady in the bar. And he is fucking swimming in the tang. And I'm like, okay, he's a lovely, charming, nice, appealing actor. He started out doing a lot of guest spots on Bewitched. He is the classic character actor. He would talk in interviews and say, William Asher would call him up and say, hey, can you play a German lieutenant? Hey, can you play a drunken cop? Hey, can you play George Washington? And Bernie Capel always said, and as an actor, you know, Matthew, we always just say, yes, I can. Yep. Where do I show up? I need the fucking work. And so that's kind of where he got schooled in being this versatile character actor. And then he was, of course, Siegfried, the leader of Chaos on the show Get Smart with the wonderful Don Adams. And he was magnificent. I mean, there's nothing wrong with him or what he does, but even looking back to pictures and saying, well, he was 55 when the series started.
My God, how old?
I am shut your... Stop.
Nobody's getting tail at 55. That lonely old man was whacking it in his stateroom.
But the thing is to look back at him with the 1970s aviator glasses, with the beginnings of the comb over, and you're like, if you had said that this was Rabbi Moskowitz passing through, it's just kind of like he's really, casting wise, he's more of a nebbish than a sex symbol, really.
Yeah, I don't know who he blew to get this part. Like not even a body on him. And it's like, you had Robert Wagner there. Like it should have been that type who was just,
oh God, yeah. Or maybe somebody younger, a younger doctor character. I'm sorry to be ageist as someone in my 50s also, but I would like, if someone came to me and said, David, we're going to cast you as the guy who is fucking everything under the sun, I'd be like, yeah, you don't think you have other choices there, huh? Really? But that's, but moving on with this is a point I want to make. The other cast members are Fred Grandy as Burl Smith, otherwise known as Gopher, the ship's purser. And then we have Ted Lang as Isaac Washington, the African-American bartender, and Lauren Tuiz as Julie, your cruise director, and Cocaine Connection, if you need a little bit of blow. And lastly, added in season 2, so she is here, is Jill Whelan as Vicky Stubing, Gavin MacLeod's daughter, who parent of the year makes his daughter fucking work on his ship. So, but of that cast, the fuckability factor on that cast, Fred Grandy was cute. That's all I will give you. I would never use the word handsome or sexy to describe Fred Grandy, even at his most cuteness. I mean,
I would have followed him into the steam room. I'm just saying.
I mean, I would have hit it too. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying from a shallow TV casting point of view, this point that we're making that like, so Doc is the sex symbol. That's the fuckability factor. Now
but does that speak to an all male, like Hollywood toxic masculinity casting? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like people like you know, as well as I do, straight men who look like Doc are the first ones to be like, well, yeah, I think I'm pretty good looking. No, motherfucker, you're not.
Yeah,
like,
and yet they walk up to the 22-year-old porn star with all the confidence in the world, and next thing you know, they're marrying this trophy wife, and you're like, really? You want that on top of you? Really?
So, I mean, wasn't Aaron Spelling famous for Jiggle television and everything?
Oh,
so
yes.
He clearly wasn't casting for women to watch his shows.
No. That's true. Certainly not Charlie's Angels. Holy God. But they did now at one point later add the wonderful Ted McGinley, Jefferson Darcy on Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
The man who's considered the man who kills more TV shows. And it's like, that is just such a fucking gross, oversimplification. He was on Happy Days. They kind of hoped that he would fill the gap left by Ron Howard for the squeaky clean, handsome young guy. And that didn't really work out very well. And then he was on this, I think he was on this show 6 of the seasons or 4 of the seasons. Yeah, he joined in 83. He was on the last 4 seasons. It's that thing of, well, you fucking killed that show, didn't you? And it's like the 4 years I was on it. Yeah. You know, like Cousin Oliver killed the Brady Bunch. Listen to an interview with Robbie Rist. He's like, I was on 9 episodes out of what, 30 that season? He's like, I did 9 shows. How the fuck did I kill a TV show? But that's neither here nor there. But the funny thing is that when they finally did step up and say, maybe we should get a dude, you know, and let's see, John Travolta's taken. Adrian Zmed is already cast. Tom Selleck's not famous yet. Eric Estrada's already on Chip. Let's get that Ted McGinley guy. He's going to really boost.
And here they didn't know what they were doing with George Clooney.
Yeah, exactly. Clooney was out there floundering, or he was about to be anyway. But yeah, so that's the main suspects, our usual suspects. As I synopsize, as we talk about the show, I am going to do my best to talk about the characters, meaning we have Captain Steubing, Doc, Gopher, Isaac, Julie, Vicky. I'm going to try to use their character names. But as far as the other people, there are so many guest stars, there's too many people. I'm going to say, now we get back to DeMond Wilson and Jimmy Walker. I'm going to try to do that. And please join me if you can or if you will.
I will be calling the Love Boat cast the blonde chick, Murray, and the black guy, Gopher, and the old dude. That's what I'll be referring to them. And I will be referring to DeMond Wilson as Lamont. And
you've been doing that already.
Nancy McKeon will be Joe. And Jimmy Walker will be Jimmy Walker.
Yeah. Or JJ. You could call him JJ.
Yeah,
I think certainly that's not inappropriate. Yeah, so this is a single camera show, meaning it's shot like a movie. They have one camera. It's not done like a play, like a live show, a live studio audience thing. We've got a laugh track here. And
motherfucker, we got a laugh track.
You don't think it helps when they tell you what parts are funny and where you're supposed to laugh? You don't appreciate that?
I typically don't really notice a laugh track a whole lot, but it's when it becomes like the Big Bang Theory laugh track where every line is given a laugh. It's like, I was like, oh, there it is. Okay.
And Big Bang has a live studio audience. They just have to oversweeten it. Even in the newer Will and Graces, you can hear it's like, guys, come on.
Ooh.
But anyhoozle, yeah. So I think we're ready to get into talking about the people guest starring on this show. Before we get there, let's step out of this thicket of briar that I've laid before us and talk about the theme song. Is it not one of the greatest fucking TV show theme songs ever written? And I'm not being ironic.
No, yeah, it absolutely is. It absolutely is. And it's perfect. I mean, nothing says that time period. Mm-hmm. Like, it's got that almost disco, but like, and yeah, it's didn't it end up on the charts?
I think it might have, yeah. But yeah, it does have that disco. Yeah. It's got that beat going on, but it's the perfect representation because it is a new show with a lot of older people in it, old school stars of yesteryear. So to have that lounge singery Jack Jones vocal. And love, life's sweetest reward. It's just the crooning. To have a crooner doing a TV theme song, I'm sorry, it is one of those, it should never have worked, and it is fucking amazing.
You know it was composed by Charles Fox. Do you know who wrote the lyrics?
Who wrote the lyrics?
The wonderful Paul Williams.
Oh, Paul, he was married to your friend Carol Lee briefly, wasn't he?
And they used Jack Jones' version until the last season. It was replaced by Dionne Warwick singing the title on the last season.
Ew. That's weird. But yeah, do you know what other movie, do you know what other TV show theme Charles Fox wrote, Matthew?
No.
I think you do. You just don't know that you know.
Did he write what? He didn't write Facts of Life.
No, he didn't write. I'm going to do a little excerpt, and I think you will immediately know.
I can name that tune in 3 notes.
Okay, 3 notes. Dun dun dun.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, gays can communicate telepathically. If there was ever any question. Last thing I want to say about the opening theme.
Oh yeah.
You know how we obsess over theme songs and the clips they include in theme songs, and how much we have talked about in the Facts of Life. We hate when there is a clearly staged stand there and look at the camera and smile.
Yeah.
This is where we're going to put your thing. All of them are them standing there and just, I'm just standing here happy. And they have this wipe, this anchor, this gigantic blue anchor that moves from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen. And it wipes from the actor's credit to some type of B-roll picture of the cruise ship, picture of Cabo or the Caribbean, and then the next actor. When it went into reruns and they had to cut out time for more commercials, all that B-roll fucking went away. It was just anchor, wipe, actor, anchor, wipe, next actor. They cut all that in between shit out.
Huh.
And a couple of those are clearly the actors standing in front of a blue screen where they later put a picture of the ocean behind them. I think Bernie Capel's and Jill Whelan's in particular, where it's I'm looking out over the ocean away from the camera, and then I turn to the camera and I'm like, oh.
There's a lot of blue screen usage in
the Love
God,
yes. Indeed. Yes. So, you ready to talk about the guest cast?
Oh my God. Let's do it.
Yep. They list them alphabetically at the beginning of the show. And thank God, here in season 3, somebody got smart and started adding pictures of the actors. Before, it used to just be the text of the name. And somebody did say, everybody watching this show is not going to know everybody who's on it. So they said, how about we take us a pic, and the same thing, stand there and smile and look at the camera. But thankfully, it's only a couple seconds long. So we are now into the Love Boat seasons where the person's face is shown with their name, which is really nice and helpful, I find.
I didn't know that there was another way.
First name, again, guest starring in alphabetical order, Christopher Connolly. You know him, you love him, right? Because he was on that, Turns out he was on Peyton Place from 1964 to 1969.
Who did he play in the show?
He plays the love interest for Lauren Tuies, for Julie, the cruise director.
Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was like, who the fuck is Lauren Tuies, David?
Next on the list, Alex Cord.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alex Cord from, okay. Yep. He's going to be on a show called Airwolf in a few years, but I mean, working character actor, but just not a big series or one role that identifies him. Alex Cord plays the father of Nancy McKeon.
Yeah, he was also in an episode of Murder, She Wrote and an episode of Hotel where he played a character named Preston in both episodes.
Both shows.
But he was, you may remember him from a wonderful Christmas special TV movie called Have I Got a Christmas for You?
What?
Where a group of a community center of Jews decide to help their Christian friends to have a decent Christmas by taking over their responsibilities for Christmas. So wackiness ensues when a bunch of Jews try to do these jobs that they've never attempted before.
I have to watch that right now, immediately. I need that in my life.
The cast is it's Milton Berle. The cast is like hard. Like these are some big deals in this cast.
Have I got it? I'm looking around. Please tell me it's on the YouTube. Boom, got it.
Oh God, there's a Facts of Life.
What? Are you kidding me?
Kim Fields is in it.
No.
Yes.
Oh,
we've got to wait 12 months.
But no, it's great. We're set for Christmas now next year. Holy fuck balls. So next on the list, Sydney Goldsmith.
Who did he play? Who was he in this show?
It's a she, Sydney with a Y.
The Wonderful.
She is, she plays the other love interest of Demond Wilson, the other African-American lady that's not Thelma Hopkins.
Right. I've got notes for her.
You do?
Okay. Got it. Yep.
But
the fuck is that? Okay. Yep.
But she would be in the Cotton Club in 1984. So coming up, she does have an appearance in that Richard Gere movie. And she just came off of being in all versions of the Stockard Channing shows that we just previously described. She was a regular on those. But I'm just going to say it. We're 3 guest stars in right now. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I do not recognize or know any of these people. And now when I IMDb them, I'm like, I still don't know these people. Then next, Thelma Hopkins. Hallelujah.
There she is.
God, I love Thelma Hopkins. Like, legitimately, I fucking love her. Huge fan. She was half of Dawn on the wonderful Tony Orlando and Dawn. She was a regular on Bosom Buddies, on Gimme a Break, on Family Matters. And here's an interesting factoid. She did 93 episodes of Family Matters. And then after that, the next series she did was 91 episodes. So as many as she did on Family Matters, of a show called Half and Half, which ran from 2002 to 2006. And it's about 2 young tween or teenaged African-American girls who are half sisters and get into wacky situations. And it was on the USA Network. That's why no one heard of it. And it's like flew in under the radar. And
Thelma Hopkins, though, Thelma Hopkins, she's kind of like I look at her as the African-American Joan Cusack. She's just always good. You put her in.
Agreed. And Thelma Hopkins most recently has been on the series Dead to Me, the Netflix series with Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini. Like just last year. That's very recent. Thelma Hopkins is still fucking doing it and crushing it. She's one of the people that leads the therapy group that they occasionally.
Must be so old by now. She's probably like 55 or something.
Hey, good thing I'm 52, bitch. Good thing. So next on the list of guest stars, Jimmy Walker, JJ from Good Times. Woohoo! A face we recognize.
There he is.
Do you not have any thoughts or feelings about Jimmy?
He's not Olivier. we know why he's here, and it's fine. It is what it is.
I have to say,
he's the reason Florida always fought with Norman Lear, because she was like, he's a fucking cartoon. And she hated the way he was written, the way he portrayed it, and anyway.
Yeah. And it wasn't from a Esther role being upstaged. It wasn't as much of a vanity thing of this is my show and he's taking over like Urkel kind of a thing. She was the one saying, this is not a positive way to portray a young black man. She's like, he lives at home with his parents. He's 20 or 21. He's of age where he should be working. There's always this running gag of, Jimmy, JJ, you ain't got a job. What are you doing? Why are you eating our food here? And she was like, no, this is about representation and role models, and you are doing a huge disservice to my community. And they're like, but he says dynamite, and people laugh and tune in and buy commercial time. So next one, Demond Wilson, Son from Sanford and Son, the wonderful. Did you ever think he was that funny on Sanford and Son?
No. And
He was, I mean, certainly you needed a straight man for Red Fox. That was the whole thing of the show, it was about Red Fox being the crazy one. And Demond Wilson, even as a kid, I remember thinking, well, he's just kind of standing there and saying the lines. But it doesn't matter because you're not looking at him. You're looking at Red Fox, because Red Fox was fucking insane in all the good, bad ways that can mean. So then next on the list, a young actress, a young 13-year-old unknown actress named Nancy McKeon.
that's true. You're talking about like Alex Cord and Connie What's Her Pussy or whoever the other people were, and you're like, don't know that person.
Sydney Goldsmith, and yeah.
Yeah, and you're like Nancy McKeon. The rest of the audience in 1979 was like, what, the girl from the Hallmark commercial?
Yeah, exactly. Can she do more than 30 seconds at a time? And it's interesting that she is in this opening thing. And I mean, getting just about as much screen time is the young boy, the 14-year-old boy who is her love interest. Yet he's not here. He's only in the end credits, but his name is Stephen Manley.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still working actor, some gaps in his resume, but he's still out there, still working. And don't you think it's interesting where you're like, what her agents were clearly better than his?
Nancy McKeon must have had quite an agent behind her, because also her brother was on Alice at this point, wasn't he?
You're right. You are totally right.
So she probably, the McKeons seem to have a pretty good, decent agent.
So let's start, Matthew, now that we've been talking for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Tutti Fruities, you're welcome. The Brotherhood of the Sea is the name of one of the plots. And I believe it is the weakest of the three. So I thought we would start with that, the Brotherhood of the Sea, and just go through that story, which is easy to do because, as we said, it is in no way, shape, or form connected to anything else.
The only thing I wrote about that one was that it speaks to one of my least favorite sitcom tropes, where they have to create an even bigger problem than fucking throwing a party for this person. They're throwing a birthday party for Julie, but it's a surprise party. So it's like, do people in sitcoms not know that their birthday is coming up? Like,
yeah.
Is it completely taking them by surprise? Like, I don't know. If somebody was like, hey, on this day, we're going to take you out to dinner, I'd be like, a motherfucker, if there's like 50 people there when I get there, I'm walking out the door. That, first of all. Second of all, like, if, go ahead, tell the story.
But it's, no, I thought you were going to say that your big thing, I know that this contains another big pet peeve of yours that not until you pointed out to me is now a pet peeve of mine, is sitcom lying.
Yeah, I have
terrible acting to telegraph that I'm lying. And what this story is that it is Julie's birthday the next day, and Captain Steubing has declared, why don't we put together a surprise party for her? And it's like, okay, so you've got the three guys. You've got Doc, Gopher, and Isaac. And we didn't even mention, I glossed over it. Unfortunately, I meant to point out that Gopher, Fred Grandy, would leave show business to go into politics. And he was a U.S. representative from Iowa from 1987 to 1995. And so that's a big deal to become a U.S. rep. And so good for him. He is still alive, still out there. I think he still makes the occasional appearance. But yeah, so we have this holy trifecta of men. We have Doc, Gopher, Isaac. And so trying to figure out, well, how are we going to plan a surprise party for Julie? They're talking about it, and Julie walks up with a, hey guys, what's up? and we get the Matthew Arter special. What? We were talking about our secret society, a secret meeting of a fraternal society. Yeah, that's we call it the Brotherhood of the Sea, and you can't be a part of it because you're a girl. And what it ends up being is that to throw her off the scent of them planning her a surprise party, they set her a whole bunch of ridiculous tasks like fasting, like standing guard, having to memorize the first chapter of Moby Dick. And she commits to it. I've got to say, this is the worst of the three stories. And these actors still commit to it, and they still somehow come out of it with their dignity, barely. And she goes along with it in the name of feminism, in this, whoa, you guys can't have a secret brotherhood and shut me out because I'm a girl. What would Gloria Steinem say about that? So it's all this stupid shit. And that would be fine in and of itself, because what happens is the denouement, as it were, is that she mentions something to Captain Steubing, and Captain Steubing is like, the fuck are you talking about? Basically, it's like, are you telling me you believe anything those three clowns are fucking telling you?
Because they were so convincing when they were like, the next step is you have to read this book. Yeah, what he said. Read the book.
Sure.
What?
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face, Doc.
But the deal is, when it becomes apparent to her that she is being had, that they're playing a trick on her, she does retaliate. And her retaliation is in their cabins at night. Doc gets into bed and his bed collapses underneath him. Isaac goes into the bathroom, shirtless, I will say. Not bad. I wouldn't kick that out of bed for eating crackers. And and then and he gets a bucket of yellow paint dumped on him. And then Gopher opens up his closet, and some type of a mechanism is set up in there whereby he gets like a big old pie in the face and is covered in whipped cream. Whoa.
A pie in the face.
Paint dumped on and bed collapsing. That is the retaliation.
Of the Three Stooges, for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
Vaudeville.
Yeah.
Oh.
And the extra joke in there is the party's already happened. And when they reveal the surprise party, they're like, so are you surprised? And she says, yeah, but not as surprised as you guys are going to be. My birthday is next month. And she means it. She's not fucking with them. She's like, yeah, what? So that gives it a little bit of, she knows it's her birthday the next day, and why would she wonder why people are acting stupid? But anyway, that whole thing. But the unforgivable part of this whole scenario is that Christopher Connolly, the Peyton Place actor, his guest spot is he plays a travel agent on the ship who is clearly interested in Julie, and she is clearly interested in him. But every time he approaches her about, let's have dinner, let's get together, let's go walk on the deck, every single time she's like, no, I've got to do this other thing because I have this point to make about being a feminist and blah, blah, blah. So this entire cruise, except for the final night, after she figures out what's going on, she basically is having to push away a dude that is interested in her. She's, this is fucking with her romantic life. And I'm like, oh, hells no.
You, David, would still take the steps to be part of the Brotherhood of Man and get yours.
Yeah.
A real woman, a Gloria Steinem would tell you to get yours and break the barriers.
Yeah. It's like there are 24 hours in a day, girl. You can knock out a 20-minute little fun time in the closet there next to the life preservers. Let's get real, please. Yeah. Some cruise director. And by the way, whenever we come to them, this is the plot that utilizes the most of the crew. They're always sitting around at the bar. They're like, literally, they don't fucking work. That is nothing.
I'm glad we're not doing a rewatch of this because, like with Edna's Edibles, who's minding the store? You'd be like, who's working on the boat?
Yeah, who's driving the ship? Because Captain Steubing, he's never in the friggin'. Have we ever seen him in the, what is it called? The captain's deck? The
I've never seen the captain's deck.
No. You've tried to swab it once in a while, but so that's pretty much it. Any other thoughts on that is story number 1. Any other thoughts, joys, concerns?
No, I hate them all.
Our next storyline is Letter to Baby Cakes is what it's called. And in this storyline, a rich businessman played by DeMond Wilson, that's Sanford and Son, uses his, I guess it's a valet, like a personal assistant is what we would call it now, which is Jimmy Walker. And basically, he comes onto the ship with his girlfriend, Thelma Hopkins, and instantaneously, immediately starts making eyes at Sidney Goldsmith. Sidney Goldsmith is the other African-American woman, and is trying to use Jimmy Walker to distract Thelma Hopkins so he can fuck around with Sidney Goldsmith. Because if you're going to have an affair, doing it on a cruise ship in the middle of the ocean, there's no way you'd ever be discovered. That's not a stupid idea, even for a womanizing piece of shit like DeMond Wilson in this. And that is without question what he is and what he's playing.
And the other woman that he's after, again, I have two things. Like, she's Mae West, for God's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he looks up to her and she's literally like has her hand on her hip and is bouncing and like winking and like fixing her hair. Like, she might as well say, come up and see me sometime. But then she opens her mouth later and you find out, oh, she's the 1920s gangster's mall, for God's sake.
Yes, she's got one of those little voices like this. What? Hey, you're not going to move me over there. She's about to do the African-American Born Yesterday revival.
Who directed that to her? A 1979 African-American woman. They're like, can you sound like that girl in Singing in the Rain? Remember?
But her character's name is Ginger, of course.
Of course it is.
And she's literally playing the dumb bimbo. That is what she's playing. And the thing is that in trying to use Jimmy Walker as a distraction to occupy Thelma Hopkins, well, guess what? Thelma Hopkins and Jimmy Walker end up on the dance floor, and well, I never noticed your eyes before. And well, the sparks started flying, and you know, when you've got the deliciously doughy DeMond Wilson in your bed, but this skinny friggin' Q-tip Jimmy Walker, my thing is I find both of them insanely unfuckable.
Okay. I have a feeling Jimmy Walker was kind of getting some poon around this time.
Oh, God, yeah. Eddie Murphy talked about in his stand-up, he was like, I got into show business for the pussy. Because I was like, if Jimmy Walker could get pussy, I'm fucking everybody.
Yeah, well. He
stated that explicitly. And I'm sorry, Eddie Murphy, he could get it.
Well, I think he'd like it. He might make you put a dress on, but...
But the deal is... DeMond Wilson, one of the devices in this, it's called Letter to Baby Cakes. It's because a letter from one of his girlfriends, and we know that he has multiples, in addition to this one that he's taking on a cruise because he doesn't care about her, because he wants to find another place to fuck other women. It's just such a preposterous premise. And this letter falls out of his jacket. Now, while he's about to put on his jacket, that's where we see DeMond Wilson in his white John Travolta disco suit with the black shirt and the big lapels and the big collar, unbuttoned all the way down to the navel. He's pear-shaped. It's like, this is like women are falling over themselves to fuck this.
He's not in shape.
No.
And I find that when you put somebody who's not in shape in a suit, you want it to be white.
And yes, I mean, you know, far be it from me to shame anybody bodily. This is not that. This is a casting thing. It's like, well, we have Damon Wilson. Well, clearly he's got to play the stud. Clearly he's the fucking stallion. I mean, the women fighting over themselves to climb up on that. Really?
Well, and they have the scene where he, like, literally Thelma Hopkins turns her back on them, and they're in a shop or something, and she pulls him off to the side, and they have a very intense hug for about a minute, like behind Thelma Hopkins' back. They're not kissing. They're literally just standing there hugging.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Weird. As an actor, you wouldn't be like, I'm not going to try to kiss her or anything. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We're just going to sneaky little hug over here in the corner.
And this comes with all of the awfulness of things like when Thelma Hopkins does find out, and he's doing this hug with Sydney, is the name of, I'll call her Sydney. That's the actress's name. They're doing this intense hug right out in the open.
Yeah.
Jimmy Walker was supposed to take Thelma Hopkins to shore. This is when they're in port, but they're right. I mean, they're walking around with her arm through his. Isn't that such a theatrical convention? Oh, here's my arm, milady. May I escort you to the curtains where I'll hug you hardly? So it's like so weird that he is visibly appearing in public attached to this other woman, as though nobody else will see that or notice that, and word will not reach Thelma.
Yeah.
And so when she does catch him, he turns to Jimmy Walker and is like, well, you fucked this one up. Like, this is all your fault that I'm a piece of shit womanizing asshole. And any hoozle. Oh, but I was talking about when he puts his jacket on after we've examined and rubbed one out to his doughy body. It's like the letter that falls out of his jacket is a letter from one of the girlfriends to Baby Cakes. And so Thelma Hopkins finds it and she's like, what is this? And he's like, that's not my letter. I was holding it for someone else. It's Jimmy Walker's letter. He has someone that calls him Baby Cakes. Well, and it's this woman, Sydney, here. Yeah, that's it. They're together. He's hooking up with her. So, and I do have a note. I'm talking like Damon Wilson was doing bad lying. I do have to give him credit. The one thing I will give him for is that Jimmy Walker and all the others are doing this, well, this stammering awfulness. Damon Wilson chooses a different thing where he takes a more fuller, authoritative tone. It's still clearly acting and acting differently. But he does say, well, that's not my letter. It belongs to Jimmy Walker. Like, he at least is committing to, I'm a fucking liar. And we can tell he's lying without it being the stammering awfulness that we've cited so many times in the past.
Yep.
So, yeah, for all the body shaming we've just done, Demond, bravo, sir. And then by the end, I know you're going to pick yourselves up off the floor, people, when I tell you that. In the end, Thelma Hopkins and Jimmy Walker fall in love, and she tells Demond to go fuck himself. I'm paraphrasing. And then when he turns to Sydney to be like, well, I guess I'm free now. And Sydney's like, yeah, go fuck yourself double, dude. Yeah. So, and there it is. That's it. And anything else in that lovely vignette?
Nope. I got nothing to add to that.
And then lastly, finally, the good storyline.
That's a stretch.
Yeah. It's called Daddy's Pride. And this is where Nancy McKeon plays a young gymnast, and she is there on the ship with her father, played by Alex Cord. And he is, your typical, like a toddler and tiara parent, but with gymnastics. He had won an Olympic bronze medal. So it's this, my girl's going to win the Olympic gold, and she's going to, what does he say? This young lady's going to make Nadia Comaneci look like Grandma Walton.
Yeah.
Those are two 1979 references for the price of one, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, so it's just that standard thing of the parent being the taskmaster, slave driver. But Nancy McKeon has made friends with this snotty little rich boy played by Stephen Manley. So dad is Alex and the kid is Stephen. And when she wants to spend time with Stephen, of course, the dad's like, no, you got to sleep. No, you can't eat food. No, you can't do this and that. You have to be practice. I don't know why we're on a cruise ship, but you have to be practicing your fucking gymnastics all the goddamn time.
And here's my question.
Please.
The wide shots of her practicing her gymnastics. That is not Nancy McKeon.
Oh, it's so funny how when you have an actress that nobody knows, they did not even try to mask the fact that it was another girl doing the gymnastics. I mean, she had the same color hair and a ponytail, and then she like basically does backflips on a cartwheel off camera, and then Nancy McKeon just kind of trot, walks on in.
So funny.
Yeah, it is. Now, if it had been later, when Nancy McKeon was famous, they probably would have made a little more effort to mask the face of the girl.
Well, and I can't tell you how many cruise ships I've been on where in the gym is a full Olympic-sized balance beam.
Yeah, standard, isn't it? Aren't those built in? Isn't that on the Disney Dream?
It's like I've had them take out exercise bikes and put one in for my own personal before I will go on a cruise. It's in my rider.
But let's talk about this dad, Alex Cord. Clearly, he's a good at playing the villain, the heavy. He's played that a lot in his career. The mustache.
Everybody had one. The molestache. It just,
I just want to say, this mustache looked a little on the gay side to me. To me, it was reading gay, and I don't think he is. But he certainly wasn't playing gay. He's playing a single dad. I don't know why I'm making the lesbian sound, but it doesn't work. But we do not ever learn where the mother is in this picture, do we? Just saying.
We sure don't.
But yeah, but on the flip side, we have this this little boy, this 14-year-old, very cocksure, abandoned rich boy that very quickly set up the fact that he's there alone. He's, what did I say? He's 14.
Yeah.
He's there alone. And while he's kind of being a bit of a snot to the crew, the dad, Alex, says, don't you think your parents might be wondering where you are? Like, kind of the nice way of saying, don't you think you could fuck off now? He says, well, I don't think they're going to find me. Dad is in Paris and mom is somewhere in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
So now the Love Boat just lets like 14-year-olds just book themselves on a cruise. And
1979. Children could fly alone. They could buy cigarettes.
he's a little bit precious. I think he's adorable.
He is cute, but what they're doing is they're playing the spoiled rich kid who's used to barking orders at people, but they're also trying to do the thing, but it's because his parents neglect him. He's just troubled because he's so rich and poor thing. He does try to flirt with Nancy McKeon, but the dad quickly puts the kibosh on that and leaves. And
why
then
is Nancy whispering? I feel like all of her lines are
you're right.
My dad says I can't have this. And it's like, what?
I think they have a discotheque on board. That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? You're right. There is kind of a whispery, breathy quality to her voice that we certainly don't get when Joe Polnicek comes along in another year. So and she looks so young. She looks like a child.
Yeah, which made the kiss extremely uncomfortable.
Oh, really?
She's 13.
But he's 14 and he looks every bit 14. He's not one of those,
But it was,
you know, those kids in junior high who had, you know, full pubes, full armpit hair, had to shave every day. Those, you know, kids who developed early. No, he's still very much, you know, that sort of gangly, gawky tween looking thing. So I thought they were well matched. Why didn't you?
I don't want to watch a little girl kiss a little boy in a romantic way like that on a cruise ship. Like, it was just, the situation was a little adult for me.
Okay. But he was comforting her. She was crying because she had had a little bit of a blowout with her dad. She was not doing the gymnastics well and he yells at her. So she's like, I want you to love me, but I just can't do it. And she runs out.
Yeah.
And
an arm around her would have gotten that trust, I think.
I
come
guess.
across to me. But
Matthew, it's called the Love Boat, not the Arm Around Boat. So what ends up happening, and this is the only thing I think is worthy of a David rewrite, a David note to the writers. The other things, they're just too awful, too far gone. There's no fixing them. They are what they are. But with this, there is the point when the dad catches them in the kiss. And he's like, go back to the room now. And then he goes to then he goes to little Steven and he says, I want you to stay away from my daughter. And no, this is not happening. And so because this little rich kid is used to mouthing off to adults, he does say back to him. He does give him back. He's not a good actor yet. Hopefully he gets better. But he says something to the effect of, you don't care about her. The only thing you care about is wanting her to win the gold medal that you weren't good enough to win yourself. And so he confronts the dad, and it can be effective. The idea that, you know, out of the mouths of babes, he needs somebody completely outside of the situation to give him a new perspective. But the dad does change. He goes to the room where Nancy McKeon still crying. Nancy McKeon crying even at 13. God, she's good. I mean, really. For realsies.
Yeah.
So the dad says, I'm an idiot. I never realized I was doing this to you. Your friend Kevin is right. And you know what? Maybe you'd get a kick out of not practicing and going to the disco tonight. Maybe you might be able to meet up with him. And she's like, oh, Dad, could I really? Right? She whispers.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yep. But he says, Penny, this is where we get into the true Lifetime TV special. Next time we talk about the Olympics, I'll ask if it's something you want to do. And she says, all I ever wanted was for you to love me.
Oh my God.
And he hugs her and says, I do. And that's how the story wraps itself up. The only little thing I would have loved to have tweaked is I would have loved for Dad and little Steven to somehow fix each other. Maybe he does say something about, yeah, well, you're used to your parents not caring about you or something like that. I'm not sure if he says it, but the idea that he says, you don't care about her. And have him and then have the dad say, yeah, well, you seem to know a lot about parents not caring about their kids. You know, we do. We just show it in funny ways. And maybe if you'd stop being such a jerk to all the grownups around you, maybe you might give them a chance. Something. I don't know.
When they disembark, they do have that thing where it's like, here's our address. Like, it's almost kind of, he's like, our door is always open. Weird.
If you need a friend, and he shakes his hand. So I guess there is a little bit of that there, but in the scene, I guess there's a little part of me as the grown up having an ego response to the idea of a kid yelling at an adult without the adult saying, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You're right. But go fuck yourself. You don't talk to me that way. Anywho, so the final thing, all the scenes end up with them disembarking the ship. And in this one, the dad gives them the address and then says, I'm going to go get a taxi or whatever. You know, I'm going to give you guys a moment. Like, he deliberately leaves them alone. I'm like, we've come so far, Dad. And then
20 minutes.
Yeah, and they don't kiss again. They just hold hands and they walk out together. and that's how the episode ends. And yeah, Love Boat 1979, folks.
One of my favorite things to do with the Love Boat is watch the extras in the back who are just other guests. Because like we watch it, I don't know, maybe other people do, but like when I watch a sitcom like Golden Girls, I will count how many steps it takes Dorothy to get from the kitchen to the front door.
Really?
Because it's always smaller than you think. And it only takes her like 10 steps to get across. And it looks like she's crossing a fucking football field when you're watching on the TV. But really, she's only taking like 10 steps from the kitchen to the, and like I'll watch Direction, like all three of them are sitting on the couch together.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you imagine if you, me, and Paul Padilla were all hanging out together in your house and we were all three on the same couch? It'd be
shoulder to shoulder. Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
How are we having a conversation? Yeah. No, you're right. You're totally right.
But, I watch those people and it's like, as an actor, they're just day hires that have been hired for $50 a day to wear a bathing suit and sit. You can't talk to each other because of the sound. So it's a lot of just looking at each other and smiling and nodding for fucking 8 hours. Like with these literal strangers. It's not like you know each other.
Yeah. Oh,
like,
no. God, no. Yeah.
You're just like showing up and there's this guy that we're going to have you talking to this guy here by the bar.
Yeah. I did notice one. We went to the second scene when Nancy McKeon, or not Nancy McKeon rather, is on the balance beam. In the lower left corner of the screen, there's a shirtless guy laying down doing bench presses on the weight machine. And of course, I was like, shirtless guy, whoop! I'm like checking that out. That hot 1979 body. But he's in okay shape. But if you look, he's using one of those weight machines. There's no pin in it. There's like, he's pushing one plate of weight, which is probably what, 30 pounds, if that, or 20. It's nothing. I am weak as a bird, laying and doing a bench press with literally no weight on it.
But you have to wonder if that actor was like, well, this is the wrong choice for me to actually be doing it for continuity. Now I have to do it for 3 fucking hours like, while they film this fucking scene. It's like, cut.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It's starting to burn. It's burning real bad. Maybe I shouldn't have put 200 on that.
But they're just fun to watch because you can really like feel the awkwardness like between some of them. It's just, anyway, I enjoy watching extras in the background.
I hear that. But you're talking about Dorothy with the 9 or 10 steps to the front door. That is something I've heard on the home makeover shows, that when they film the same way, like they say the camera adds 10 pounds to a person, it's just the way it is, that when they film a room, the lens they have to use to see as much of the room as you'd want to see, it always makes the room look huge, makes the room look vast. So decorators on the home makeover shows have to put more furniture into the rooms and bigger furniture that looks like it fills the space.
Yeah.
That they decorated like they were going to decorate for an everyday actual home that someone would live in. It would look like it was half empty. So that kind of tracks.
I mean, every person that you've ever heard is like, that says like, oh, I was at the filming for The Price is Right. What did you think? A lot smaller than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
And like, you go see The Tonight Show and it's in a room the size of like my living room. Yeah. You're like, oh, well, it does stand reason. It's a fucking desk and it's a chair and it's 2 people. And so anyway.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Wicked true.
This was fun, David.
Was. Even though you hated the show and you hate making you watch it. But we've got something really exciting. I think, have we already decided, can we announce this and tell people to look forward to it, that next month we're going to do another episode of Different Strokes?
Oh my God, that's exciting.
Are you mocking me?
Yes. I'm more patronizing you, but okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hold on one second. I thought I heard a knock. Wait a minute.
Oh.
Who the fucking knocks?
See, David gets up and walks away, listeners. And it's like, here, Matthew, look at my bedroom. Look at this bed on which you shall never lay. Look at this bed on which you shall never lie.
What are you doing?
What?
What were you saying?
Nothing. What was it? Who's knocking at your back door?
No, sadly, nobody. Surprise. Yeah. And well, I think it's going to be fun. I think we're going to enjoy the Different Strokes episode much more than this. And since we've already dissected and talked about the Encyclopedia Britannica history of the show previously, we'll be able to, limit it to only 2 or 3 hours. So, Tutti Fruities, thank you so much for supporting the show. As always, we love you. We appreciate you. And it is now 2021. We can say we survived 2020. We hope that better days lie ahead, or lay ahead, depending on what the correct way to say that is. But yeah, so Matthew, I wish you a wonderful new year, and I look forward to the many more shows we're going to be doing in 2021.
Happy New Year to you and Yorn, David.
All right. Bye for now, guys. We'll talk to you next month. Mwah.